Hello everybody, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Apostle Nikki, and in today's video I want to caution you to stick to what God told you. Stick to what God told you. Okay, so in some of my coaching sessions I've been meeting with clients who are right now going through the confusion, and this is because there's a lot of videos that have been released on YouTube that have made them to question the promise that God made to them concerning their kingdom marriages, right? And because this process also sometimes is not a smooth one to the kingdom marriage or to any other promise that God has given you, right? It will also attract a lot of confusion along the way, right? But if you open up yourself to actually hearing so many voices, hearing so many people having different opinions concerning the promise that God gave you, you're going to end up losing sight of what it is that God had told you, and you're going to end up in a pool of confusion and may even give up on the promise that God has given you. I want to make this video today to tell you that you have to understand that not everybody is going to understand the promise that God gave to you. But most importantly, not everybody is going to even believe or even endorse the promise that God gave to you. You have to understand that when God told Abraham that I'm going to make your name great, I'm going to take you to a land that I will show you, he probably looked crazy just packing up and leaving and saying, I'm going to a land that God will show me. You have to understand the same goes for us. When God gives you a promise for a kingdom marriage or gives you a promise for kingdom wealth, whatever it is, you are at some point going to have to be willing to look crazy. You are going to have to be willing to swim against the tide. You're going to have to be willing to look foolish before people. You have to understand that people's capacity to understand what God is doing in your life, it actually varies. Some people will even condemn what God is doing in your life, while some people will tell you that it's never going to happen. But you have to decide, whose voice are you going to believe? Are you going to believe the voice of the people that are telling you this is madness, this is crazy? Or are you going to believe the voice of the Lord who says, hey, I am actually going to give you this promise? The Bible says that foolishness before people is wisdom before God, and wisdom before people is foolishness before God. So you have to understand, you need to make a decision. Are you going to be foolish before people, or are you going to be foolish before God? Are you going to be wise before people are you going to be wise before people in order to be foolish to the Lord, or are you going to be foolish to people in order to be wise in the eyes of God? You need to make that decision, understanding that this journey is a journey where God is taking you, right? Not you and your family members, not you and your friends, not you and whoever. God made this promise to you. So if you're going to open up yourself to so many voices, right? People saying this, another one saying that, another one saying this, people are simply just not going to believe your promise. Unfortunately, this is the reality. Even the closest people next to you, they're not going to believe, they're going to think that you're going crazy. So you have to be willing to look foolish before people. You can't just give up on your promise just because it doesn't make sense to nobody. Actually, when it doesn't make sense to nobody is when you know that you are likely on the right standing with God. You need to be selective of what table are you eating from, because even here on YouTube there's a lot of confusion that is going on. Some are saying this, some are saying that. So if you're going to be clicking on every kingdom marriage video that you come across, you will likely end up in that confusion, not understanding whether or not God made you a promise or whether it's going to be fulfilled. You're going to even question your ability to hear God. So right now, I want to say this to you right now. Stick to what God told you. If God did not tell you anything different, believe what He told you yesterday. It still stands today. If God did not tell you anything different today, believe what He said yesterday. It still stands today. Okay? So don't allow people to make you miss out on what God has for you simply because you shifted out of position, simply because your faith was misaligned, simply because you gave up too soon. Don't allow people to steal God's promise from your hand. The journey is not a smooth one. The journey is not easy, but I can assure you right now that when you hold on to God, you keep on believing God, even when it makes you look like a fool to people, you are on the right track. So if you're going through the most right now, if you're asking yourself so many questions, just sign up for a coaching session with me, and I'll be happy to help you resolve whatever that you're going through. Okay, and again, if you want to stay connected, because I have a class that I teach every single Tuesday, where these women are on the same journey as you. They are standing for the promise that God gave them. If you want to stay connected, you can also check for the link on the description box below. So I just want to tell you once again, stick to what God told you. God is not a man that he shall lie. People may not even be seeing that promise. They may be telling you like, oh, okay, we don't see this happening. But if God said it to you, okay, it will come to pass. Thank you very much for watching my channel. Let's meet on the next video. Goodbye.